We are live. All right. Yeah, usually it gives me the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing, but not today. Not today. Looks like it's still connected to LinkedIn too, so we're going to give it just a second here. Trying to figure out how to use this microphone. The stand is not working that great, so I'm having some minor technical difficulties here, but we will figure this out. So yeah, hey everybody, my name is Justin Belante. I am a healthcare recruiter, and this is just in time for coffee. I'm a healthcare recruiter. I am one of the managing partners or co-founders of Titan Placement Group, a healthcare recruiting company here in Sarasota. We specialize in community-based nonprofits, and we fill a lot of positions in healthcare. Everything from docs to psychologists to licensed clinical social workers, hospice nurses, you name it. We do all of it. So I'm going to actually just take this mic off here because it's not working that great for me here right now. I'm going to have to order a new stand, but what are you going to do? Not the end of the world. Just one moment here. Booyah. I think we're back online. All right, cool. I'm just going to have to hold the mic today, I guess. Well, hello, everybody. So I just wanted to talk about one little thing today. Not going to be a super long live session, but I wanted to talk about showing up. Showing up. Today, dude, I felt like sleeping in. I felt like just hanging out at the house and hanging out with my wife and hanging out with my dogs and my little boy, you know, really enjoy hanging out with those guys. So today I just felt like that and, push through, because I think there's a lot that happens when you just show up, right? Especially on the days that you really don't want to. You kind of push through and do it regardless, right? So Fridays over here at Titan, we don't even start work until 9 o'clock officially. That's when our meeting is. We work, 24/7. We're always available to our clients and candidates, but we have office hours. Yeah. So Friday, 9 o'clock, but every other day is 8:30. So I wake up at 5 o'clock to go run on Tuesdays and Thursdays with Gary and Hunter, and Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, Monday and Wednesday, I wake up at 5 o'clock to go to the gym, and Fridays, I, sometimes I wake up early, sometimes I sleep in, and this morning, I did set my alarm clock for 5 o'clock, so it went off at 5 o'clock. But when it went off, I mean, I didn't want to get up. Not today, not really today. Um, just wasn't feeling it, and I freaking got up anyways. I looked at my alarm clock for a second and I thought about, turning that sucker off, and I didn't, and I just showed up. I got up, drank a glass of water, got to my gym and did what I needed to do. And now I'm here. I managed to get here early. Kind of how it's all related to work is, I got here early and I was able to get caught up. I had to leave a little early yesterday, so I was able to get caught up. And I mean, the reality is if I didn't wake up and show up this morning, I wouldn't have gotten the ability to do all that stuff. Right. So I think that there's a lot that happens when you just show up, because you can't rely on motivation. When you're motivated, you do things, right? You do things and you do them well, I'm sure. But consistency is something that's really helped me, right? And showing up on the days where I'm not feeling really motivated, and I think for me, I think consistency is really the name of the game, especially in recruiting. If you find a system or process that works, right, all you have to do is show up and do the system or process on a consistent basis. So just wanted to talk a little bit about showing up. So for me, showing up is really important. Showing up's been a lot of the reason why I've had a success. I really believe that. I'm not smarter or better than anybody. I just, show up maybe a little earlier, and I'm willing to do maybe a little bit more than the next guy. Um, doesn't make me better, stronger, or whatever, but it does help me, so show up. That's my unsolicited advice for today as I sit here and hold this microphone. So, figured we could do just like a couple sticky note shenanigans. So, sticky note shenanigans is a segment where we go over some sticky notes. I've been collecting sticky notes throughout my career, jot down little things that I found um, helpful, motivating, encouraging, uplifting, empowering for me over the years. And maybe there's a few things on here that can, help somebody else. So I'm just going to kind of flip through here and we'll do some older ones. Yeah, I know the yellow ones are older, at least for me. So let's see here. The first one we got, just dial. Just dial. Well, this is a reminder to myself. Um, I'm a thinker, right? Generally, speaking generality, general terms here, but you have thinkers and feelers. I'm a thinker. So I'll sit there and I'll think about that call I'm about to make a little longer than I should sometimes. So I need a little reminder every once in a while to just dial, right? This is a phone business. What that means to me is like this is a business where you have conversations with individuals, right? We're in the business of placing candidates, so you need to be having conversations with candidates. And for me, this is how I do it most of the time, right? I dial. Here we go. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, this is a cool little acronym called Logic. I believe this is Brad Lee. He hosts a podcast. Pretty cool guy. Logic. L is for leverage. O is for obvious. G is for gain. I is for intelligence. C is for common sense. I think this is like a sales thing, if I remember correctly. Ultimately, you want to have leverage, let them know what they're going to obviously gain. Use your intelligence and use your common sense. These are things that I think, we all need to be reminded of sometimes. Common sense, really, not that common these days, at least in my experience. Um, Justin, the recruiter with Tyson, just a little reminder to myself to call myself the recruiter. I think that was a little thing that I was doing for a little while. It's a way to kind of reframe, thought processes and really showcase myself as an expert, right? All right, let's see here. Oh, cool. So this is a value add for our services. Just a little thing that I wrote down. We send the invoice the day the candidate starts. So for us, we work on contingency basis, and we do not we don't even send the invoice until the candidate shows up. So it costs nothing to work with us, basically, until we do the job for you. That's our value prop, one of the value adds, if you will. Okay, here we go. A little trick for when you're trying to get past the gatekeeper. A lot of the time they'll hit you with, you're like, hey, can I speak with so and so? And they'll hit you with, yeah, I'll take a message. And one of the things that I've learned is if I say, hey, can I leave a voicemail? I'd say about 50% of the time they'll let you leave a voicemail. So you'll basically skip that whole message because a lot of the time those sticky notes that they put down never even make it to the desk. At least that's what I think. At least that's what it feels like. Oh, and then do you have their email? Right. So, hey, can I speak with so and so? I'll take a message. Okay, no problem. I'll leave a message with you. Do you have their email? Right. That I think you get a little bit less. I'd say 30% of people will respond with an email. Sometimes you can get it. Sometimes you can ask too if you're can send them an email, then they'll forward it to that person. That's a little bit more likely, I think, than taking a note these days. It's so much easier to send a follow-up email. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this is a little thing we were trying for a little while. This is a newer one. These are newer. There's no way this is older. What if I could offer you better service with more competitive terms? Right. So it's just something that I wanted to say that trips them up whenever they hit me with we have people of our own. I've got somebody on it. We don't work with recruiters, basically something to trip them up, get them thinking. That's what we do with some of our questions over here. Let's see here. I'll do one or two more and then I'm going to bounce. Got a lot to do today. Let's see here. Oh, this is okay. Any chance you have time to speak at 11 a.m.? So this is basically um, throwing a dart on the calendar rather than saying, "Hey, when's a good time for us to speak?" You're encouraging them to now look at their calendar, find the open times that they have that they're available, and then send that information back to you. And it's someone that you've never spoken with before. So you want to make it as easy as you possibly can. And one way to do that is throw a dart at the calendar. Hey, any chance you could talk tomorrow at 11 o'clock? Boom. Throw a dart on a time that you're available. It's much easier for them to look at their calendar for a space that they are looking at a specific time. Look at that time, see if they can make it. If they can, great. Maybe they're willing to have a conversation with you. If not, then they can just respond with, no, it doesn't work. Here's a time that does, right? So that's a little bit easier. And how open would you be to a conversation, right? It's a little bit more of an open-ended question. Um, and I think that's kind of the name of the game, right? Open-ended questions, questions that get people thinking, right? That's the deal here, because ultimately, old sales saying, two no's and a go, right? People's knee-jerk reaction is always no. So I just want to trip them up to see if that's a real no, or if they're just trying to get me off the phone, right? Because we have a valuable service here. We do a really damn good job, and I would say we do a better job than a lot of organizations out there at a little bit better price. So we've got some value. So yeah, I want to know if they're just pushing me off the phone, or if they really are good. And if they're good, that's okay, right? It's either a no, not right now, or a yes, right now, right? I can either be just in time, or I could be just in case. All right, guys, this is a quick episode of Just in Time for Coffee. Thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great Friday. And I'll be back next Friday with a little bit more preparedness. But hey, today I just showed up. Have a great day. Bye.